Hey you guys, how's it going? DUJ2 here, and welcome back to Fortnite Save the World, and welcome to this week's must-have video. For those of you who don't know, every single week I put out a must-have video focusing on a schematic, a weapon, a hero, a defender, or survivor in the game that I think is a must-have, something you gotta have in your arsenal because it's amazing. And this week we're going to be talking about the broadside. Yes, I'll say this right now, guys. If I call this thing the cannonade, I am sorry. I keep doing it. I don't know why, but it is the broadside. And yeah, it's broad. It's on the side. It's basically, it's, you know, a broadside cannon, what you would have on the side of a ship, which is kind of what this looks like. So if you were to like make a ship in Save the World, you can, and you can put those on the side, and of course you're gonna have side cannons. I gotta say though, this thing, the attention to detail that they put in this game is amazing. Look at this thing. Look how absolutely gorgeous that is. And for those of you who don't know, whenever these flaps drop down, there's a rubber ducky on their side. So that's awesome. So let's go ahead. Oh, I just noticed it's missing a bolt. Huh, I wonder why. That's interesting. Very interesting. Anyway, so what are we going to do in this video? Well, what we're going to do in this video is we're going to take a look at the broadside. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about what makes it tick and what makes it so awesome. We're going to talk about how to get it. And then after, I'm going to take you guys into my SSD. Actually, we're going to build a basic rudimentary little trap field, and that's something very important too that I need to explain. I don't like trap tunnels. Now, I know everyone does trap tunnels. Personally, for me, I don't enjoy them. I don't enjoy the close quarters of it all, especially if you happen to go into a mission where you have exploders, you know, death burst or something like that. It really messes up your trap tunnels. I personally have always been of the inclination of really enjoying trap fields, and if for that too, very soon I'm going to be doing a guide. I'm showing you guys how I do my trap fields and trap pits. So I do two things, and I also need to work on another trap for that because it is a very important trap to work on. But anyway, and that is it's a very anti death burst kind of, you know, trap setup, but also I enjoy it. I enjoy looking over and watching all the decimation and destruction that happens. It's just something I enjoy doing. So I'll be doing that in the future. And like I said, I'll also be showing you guys, because at the end of this video, there will be, I think it's 2, maybe 3 instances where there'll be some clips at the end. They're going to be a little long, but I want to show you guys 2 different instances of how I decided to use this weapon, and or sorry, this trap. And it's kind of fun because it's trap fields. It's 2 different kind of organized trap fields. They're a lot of overkill, and it's a lot of fun to watch. So you guys can watch those at the end, but of course before that, we'll go into my SSD. I'll kind of explain to you guys how I decide to build them, and the beauty of SSDs now and traps in general is that you can lay down anything you want in your SSD and then destroy it for the materials back, which is a great tip because it's what I'm going to be doing in this one because of something else we're going to be doing, but I'll explain that in a second. So let's jump into it, guys. Before that though, please let me just take a moment, guys. Thank you very much to all of you. I want to say thank you, all of you who are watching my videos, all of you who are subscribed, all of you guys who come to the streams. Thank you very much, especially all of you guys who use my creator code. I know there's not a lot to spend on in Save the World, but I know there's a ton of you who also play Battle Royale, and when you guys spend V-Bucks on there, I know you guys use my code. So thank you very much. There are so many of you. I wish I could thank you all individually, but I can't. But really, guys, thank you so much. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate you guys supporting me and helping me out like that. Thank you very much. So let's go ahead and jump in, and let's talk about the broadside. So the broadside, I have mine at level 106 right now. Yes, with the new changes in Twine Peaks, it has made it much easier to go in and get how can we put this? It's made it much easier to go in and get higher level materials, but I'm not really at a point yet where I feel comfortable in making this a 130. Now I'm getting there because at 106 we need planks, sleek mechanical parts, and char black minerals. Once you take it to 130 or above, you're going to need the efficient mechanical parts and the oxidized mineral powder. Now that I've been doing missions that are like 108, 116, I'm that's kind of like the missions I stick to, 100 to 116. Normally, the 120s, they can be a little tough. They can be a little tough there unless they are the encampments. I love doing those, but apart from that, you know, I've been getting a lot more of this. But currently, I have plenty, apart from planks, to make 106s. So for now, I'm gonna keep it at 106, and that's something that a lot of people ask me a lot of times. When should you take your traps schematics up to the next level? And honestly, especially for traps, because you're gonna be using so many of them so often, I really think that for traps, you really need to be once you get to a comfortable level in the game. Now, when you're in Twine Peaks, you're gonna be seeing so much of these efficient and sleek. You know, once you are comfortable doing level 88 to 100 missions and you constantly do them, I think it's time to take your traps to 106. It really helps out. It makes it so much better. And once you get to like once you comfortably feel like you're constantly doing 128s, you definitely need level 130 traps, because those 128s, especially the 4-mans, they can be tough. But anyway, that's that for that. Now, what do I recommend for the build? The build that I recommend for this guy is going to be, of course, physical. You got to put the durability because you want it to last a little longer. Double durability, double reload, and a single damage. Now, for a while there, I really thought about going ahead and doing a critical, changing this to critical or changing it to an extra durability. Triple durability is really good, but it'll only really come to play when you're doing, let's say, an SSD 9 or an SSD 10. Those really long missions where you need the traps to constantly be firing. I gotta say, those are the only times you're gonna need those. Apart from that, most times and most other encounters, a double durability is more than enough. And in this video, we're gonna take all of these up to legendary. Yes, you heard right. I have enough legendary right now to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. This is gonna be my first legendary trap, and that's why it's a must-have, because I think it's that important. I think it's that good. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do this. I'm taking this to full legendary. This is my first full legendary trap. Whew, there it is. Okay, so what does this end at 106? It's got a damage of 554. It's got an arming delay of 1 second, a reload time of 6.5 seconds, a stun of 0 seconds, knockback of 700, critical hit chance of 10, critical damage of 831, and an impact of 920 with a durability of 66. Now, if we could add another reload to this, I totally would in a heartbeat, just because durability is, reload is probably what you want the most out of this weapon. Reload is going to be just absolutely amazing. I have thought about changing this durability here and then changing this to increasing the building health. I don't think I need to do that. It's one of those things where I'm like, you know what, it's not a bad idea, but I don't know. You guys let me know. That's the only thing that I've kind of thought of doing, you know, changing this durability and then changing this one to the health. But apart from that, if there was a way to putting more reload, I would totally say the reload is the most important thing here. That's what you want. And the damage, well, it's just fun. It's fun to do a little more damage with the physical as well. All right, so there it is. There's my broadside. Now, if we head over really quick to my backpack, you guys are going to see that I already have 91 of these. Ooh, I have all this that I got to get rid of too. I already have 91 of these, and this is the problem. These are the old ones. Now, you'd think I'd rather have the new ones, right? So when we go into my SSD, what we're going to do is we're going to set these up, and then I'm just going to knock them down, and we're going to get all the materials back. Awesome, huh? But last thing before we go into my SSD to take a look is we're going to look at how you can get it. Now, right now, this is an item that is in the Pirate Llamas. If you open any Pirate Llamas, if you guys watched a recent opening that I did, you guys could have seen that I got myself a couple of extra ones right here. I've got 2 new broadsides. One of them is going to go into my collection book. The other one, I'm probably just going to recycle. But that's, I mean, oh, and I have a couple of the other ones too. But if let's say you are not lucky, if let's say you didn't get a chance to open many llamas this time, or you didn't get it and this weapon is amazing to get, well, don't worry, this is what you can do. And as of recording this in season 8, this is still happening. If you go over to your collection book, so go to your collection book, in the regular area over here, you go to traps, regular traps, not event schematics, okay, not event schematics, because even if you go into event schematics and it would be considered a flintlock weapon, it's not there. But if you go into your traps, right there, and are you ready for this? Research, you can research this weapon, and I did. If you guys watched my very first video way back when the pirate event started, the pirate llama showed up, I didn't get a broadside. I did not get a broadside, but that broadside you guys have been seeing, I have had that broadside since the very beginning because I researched it. I leveled it up. So if for some reason you didn't get it, you can get it then, and hopefully, I'm saying this hopefully, when the event goes away, when season 9 goes away and season 8 goes away and the pirate llamas are gone, I'm hoping that this item is still going to be there. I'm really hoping that this item is still going to be there for research, so you can just research it. And yeah, because you know what, I gotta say, it's amazing. It's beyond amazing, guys. This is an awesome item. So let's go ahead and go into my SSD. We're going to go into the Twine SSD just to show it off here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my SSD. I'm going to show you guys a basic how I use the broadside, and how I recommend that it should be, kind of how you should set it up. Now, remind you, this is my personal opinion, and these are my personal like I said, my trap fields and trap pits that I like to use. All right, so here we are in my SSD, and you guys can see over there, that's where my storm shield is. And over here on the map, we are at one of the most common areas in the map, and I'm going to kind of show you guys what I would do here to be able to defend, and how I would use the broadside. Now, let's pretend for a moment that the enemies would spawn right over here, and we have this clear passage over here to be able to use, right? So let's just keep that in mind. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use, let's see, I'm going to use brick, because I will be destroying all of these. Now, for me personally, the best use of the broadside is going to be a trap field. Now, a trap field is going to have two things. A trap field is going to funnel, okay? It's going to funnel all the enemies into a single point. So that's what we need to look at first. I forgot about that too. But let's pretend that this right here is where they're going to go up, right? So if this is where they're going to go up here, then we need to be able to funnel all the enemies into this point here. So we're going to do this. We're going to do this like this. And we're going to take note of this here. Let's go ahead and build it here. So we're going to pretend that all these enemies here are going to be funneled into there, all right? So let me go ahead. And the reason why I'm doing all this here is because, as most of you know, we are able to destroy anything we want here and get all the materials back. So that's awesome about our SSDs now.
Let me go ahead and do this here and here, and let me go ahead and finish setting this up, and then I'll show you guys kind of what I'm looking at.
Okay. I want to see how much is destroyed there. Yeah, that's good to know. So I did that on purpose there to see just how much of the area that would destroy. That was on purpose. Alright, so what we see here is what I would have as a basic trap field. Now, this is something very important to note. If those weren't there, then if that, that wasn't falling there, I would totally do this a little different, because I would be building here in the middle so that, I could slow this down even more. But the whole point is, we're imagining that the enemies are spawning over here and they want to go over there. That's their goal right there, okay? That's where they want to go. So to get in there, they've got to go through here, and they've got to pass. Is that going to destroy that too? It is going to destroy it. They're going to pass all the way through here. They're going to enter through here, and they're going to here. Now, this is something very important. I like to put things at a certain distance, and you know what? We're going to go ahead and do this here like this. Whenever I put broadsides down, I like to put them at a certain distance so there can be a lot of passageway through it. So, like here, if an enemy of a husk is going to go chugging along through here and getting in through here, every single possibility area here that's going to hit, I want it to hit with the broadside. So I want to put broadsides here and here and here and here and here. And I want to put a broadside over here and here and here and over here, because they're going to come through here. And over here and here too, because it's going to catch to the front. Now, the basic and the most important thing about a broadside, we're going to put one over here as well. The most important thing about a broadside is going to be the bounce back. Now, if you see here, when this broadside shoots out here, it's going to shoot out over here. It's going to hit on this, and potentially it's going to knock back. So it's going to knock back and forth. And that's what you want to do with your broadside. You want to be able to get as many of those as possible. Now here, what I could do is, because we have this, I didn't see that. If they're going to be spawning from here and they're going to go through here, then we can just go. Oh, no, we can't, because that's going to get destroyed. Oh, it didn't destroy. All right, good. That's good to know. All right. So if we're going to have it here, then this might be better here. And again, don't worry, guys. Don't worry. You're going to be like, oh, no, he just wasted that broadside. What did he do? Check it out. The power of the SSD. Look at that. I got my material back, and now I'm going to be able to remake it in the better quality, so with the same materials. So that's what you're going to be looking for right here. Them coming through here, they're going to go through here. Now the other thing you want to do, and unfortunately I can't put it down here right now because it's going to get destroyed, but what I would focus on would be these beautiful guys right here. I would focus on the wooden floor spikes, because they are going to massively slow down the enemy. And if we want to go even further, and this is what I like to do when I say trap fields, I like doing this right here. Boop, 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 and boop. Now, if you see this here, you're a husk, you're coming through here. Imagine that this right here, imagine that these wall dynamos and these floor spikes were all the way down there, okay? All the way to there. This was covered in that. And you guys will see that in the end of the video. You'll see them as well in that video I said. So if you come here and then boop, you slow way down here, you bzz, bzz, get zap, zap, zap. You go over here, you get hit by a a broadside right here. Let's put one over here. So the broadside starts hammering you away here. You're slow. You keep going slow down here. You keep getting hit, and you're never gonna make it. You're never gonna make it all the way down there. Now, that is how I personally enjoy using the broadside. Now, for me personally, I have found that the best space is going to be three tiles. So 1, 2, 3 here. That's the best space. You can do one of these in 2. And if you want to make this even, if you want to save yourself a little bit of material, what you can do is, so you don't have to have this one here and this one here. Oops. Well, let's do this. So you don't have to have it like this. You can do it like this. Boop, boop, like that. Let me pick up all this good stuff here. And that way, it'll save you a bit of material, because then you don't have to do them over here, and you can put the trap here. Now, the only problem with this, the only problem with funneling enemies into something like this, and if you were to make it all the way down like that, is the fact that if you have a wide open area like this, a three wide lane, it's going to give the husks more of a chance to go through them, which will slow them down a little bit more, which will cause them more damage. Because here, if you have a line of husks, if you have a line of like 10 husks coming through here, in this first spot, only the first group, the first 2 or 3 will be affected by this dynamo and by the broadsides. The wooden floor spikes will slow them all down, but in the time it'll take to reset them, those 10 may already go through. So if you have a wide open area where they can just walk through, hence the whole trap field kind of concept, it gives them a little bit more of that oomph for me. I personally like it. And once they get in here, once they're in here, oh my goodness, you can have so much fun with them. Something that I've really enjoyed doing is like when they get to this point here, I don't think I have one actually. Do I have one right now? Yes, I do. So I enjoy putting up, there we go, here. Wall launchers. So putting up a wall launcher, like here what I could do is when we get to here, I could put up like 2 wall launchers, which will knock them back again. It'll knock them back and they'll have to go through this whole field again. And then just leaving a small area for them, let's say if we were to do this, leaving a small area for them to go through here, and of course this would, you know, be removed here like this. So we could do it like that. We could do it like this. Like that, and then put a wall launcher here and here, because if we did that, then they have to come through here, and when they come through here, bunk, they get knocked back into the broadsides, and then over here, once they get into here, boom, they're gonna get attacked by this whole broadside here too. That's just a fun extra little thing. Now, personally for me, as you're going to see, and this is just a basic little explanation of how I like using the broadsides. This is my perfect scenario. A 3-wide hall, like a big hall. I call it a trap field, where you slow them down, you do damage, and you have the broadsides. And I don't like putting any ceilings on it. I know, that's kind of weird. I don't like putting ceilings on these. I like putting ceilings over here where they're going to spawn. That's where I like to put ceilings. But in an area like this, the main reason why I don't like putting ceilings is because I like being able to see all the damage and everything that's going on. So what I like doing is that I like being able to get up here, you know, shoot them down here and be able to watch them, or go to a higher spot and be able to see down and see where they're coming to be able to hurt them. That also enables me to gives me the chance to see when there's propane tanks coming. If there's propane tanks coming, I stop shooting. I just let the traps do their work, and then when that happens, I like going behind the spawn point. So I'll go somewhere here behind the spawn point and attack them from here and make them come over here. You know, that's kind of like that. But anyway, that's just a very long explanation of how I personally like using the broadside. Let me know if you guys, how you guys like using it. After this, you guys are going to see a couple of videos here, a couple of clips. They are a little long, of some very over the top trap fields. I have a couple that I've done before, and I also show you guys a technique there that I've been developing, which is the floor launcher. The floor launcher technique in the trap field with the broadside. Hope you guys enjoy. Thank you very much for watching, guys. As always, I am DUJ2. Thank you very much, all of you guys who have been using my creator crew as well. I really appreciate it. Enjoy these clips here. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure that you get this broadside. It is a must-have. It's so much fun. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya. This is my idea. This is my idea for a trap field slash pit. So you can actually go 3 high on these if you use a ninja, and I'm also going to do that with a ninja soon, where you can go 3 high. The key is the floor launchers. If you put the floor launchers, as the enemy comes here, they're going to get launched up and trigger all of these that are watching it. Now, hopefully, this is going to work. We're going to go ahead and drop this. Drop that here and see what happens here. So I'm going to be watching here. The one thing that could be detrimental to this, of course, would be... Okay, so here we go. Let's see. Oh, you know what? We need some bounce in the back, too. Stop you from... Okay, let's see. Oh, my... Okay. That works. Alright, so lobbers are also going to be a problem. Hello. But the key with this trap is definitely bounce back. you've got to create the proper amount of bounce back, or okay. Let's do this. There we go. Hopefully that will help them come this way. So you have to create the proper amount of bounce back, or enemies are just not going to the I want to call them bowling balls, but the cannonballs will pretty much just jump away. But if you create bounce back, they will return. Now, in this case, I think the biggest problem is the fact that the ones that are going over there are just not going to come back. But as long as the enemy makes it into here, which here's one. Oh no, it didn't make it. Dude, you gotta stop messing with me. So these guys are not making it all the way in. That's a problem. Okay, here we are. So if this guy, he doesn't make it either. Okay, so maybe it's a little too good. Nothing is getting far enough to trigger the rest of it anymore. Whoa. Alright, so it works. If you want to make this a really, really awesome thing, I would maybe even make the squares shorter and give them a trap tunnel to enter. Once they enter into the trap tunnel, entering here, then you could have walls that could just close them in and just completely obliterate even more. But this is actually pretty good. This is actually pretty good, I think. Okay, let me see. Where do I want? Oh, probably over here. Wait, where is it? It's over there. Okay, so it's here. This could be a good area for me. Either of this could be good. Okay, let me see. Which one do I want? Do I want this one or do I want this one? I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna take this side, okay? So, if you guys want to go ahead and, this will be my side.
Yeah. So I want to make it that wide? Yeah, I want to do. How you change the nickname on Discord? You go to your settings, I think. Tips for farming sleek. This. Going with a farming setup. I have a video on my channel of the farming setup that I use. And just destroy everything metal you possibly can. Okay, if you guys want to defend the other side, please do. This will be my side over here. The resupply missions don't work. Really? How do they not work? Since they fixed them, they don't work anymore? That stinks. Oh, what's this, modifiers? Firestorm, healing depth burst, slowing pulse, slowing pulse. Change element when against fire. Brick is good against fire, right? Yeah, no. Metal is. Wait, what's good against fire? I'm so bad at that, I always forget. What's strong against fire? Brick or wood? It's brick, right? That'll be brick or metal. Metal is weak to nature. Fire, wood is weak to fire. Metal is the best, okay, so we gotta do metal, okay. I should have made my walls there metal, but, okay. Can I give you guns? Your name is I Got Scammed Harji? That's your name? Dude, with a name like that, it's like, of course you're getting scammed. And no, dude, I don't give guns, I don't trade either. I recommend you play the game as hard as you possibly can and get really good at it. I cannot. Can you see my setup for this guy? I'll show it to you after when we're done with this one. Okay. Next thing we need is this. I cannot. Oops. Oops. This is really overkill, man. Isn't it? I mean, I feel like this is overkill. But you never know, it might not be, actually.
So let's take a look at this and see what we still need for our death pit or trap pit or whatever you want to call it.
Wait, why does the metal look like wood? You guys see this? Why does the metal look like wood with these traps in them? You see that? That's interesting. Okay, so what do we want to do here? Let's do another layer of these. So the point of these guys is going to be, if you see a, what's it called? If you see a... Should I put some here? Yeah, I'm good, man, I'm good. If you see a propaner, just leave them alone. Just walk away. Don't let them see you, because if you jump down and fight, they're gonna get you too, which is what happened to me last time. I let them get me, and that was not good. I let them see me, which is what caused the destruction of everything else last time. See right there? Standing right there causes these to attack. So if you're gonna stand anywhere, stand behind to attack them. Oh my gosh, look how beautiful this is. Oh, I forgot I need to do one more layer, don't I? I need to do one more layer, I forgot. So what, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Uh-oh. I have to destroy that one. Okay. I gotta destroy that one. Oh, it's starting? Did it start? No. No, it hasn't started yet. Okay. Alright, ready? We're ready, because this is it, guys. I got 3 blue glow. How much do we need? Does anyone else know we need more blue glow? Let me go over there. Livingston Boy, thank you very much for subscribing. And thank you for reminding me to turn off my notifications. Okay, you guys ready? Are we ready? Alright. Dude, look at this thing. I need to get some screenshots of this or something. Look at this thing. Okay, we need to go this way. So, what should we put over on this side? I mean, I doubt anyone's gonna get this far. Will they? Whatever, I'll do it. Oh, you know what we could put over here? Yeah. We'll put a healing pad, just in case we need it. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Get some screenshots of this beautifulness. Goodness gracious. Look at this! Look at this. Look what I have made. Get on the tree. Oh no, Miss Mew Mew! I'm sorry, I've had stuff like that happen to me before too, that's so negative, sorry.
Alright, so I said I was going to do it, so here it is. This is the new version of the trap pit, whatever you want to call it. Hello? Okay. So I'm going to have to build a better way to defend myself here. I do want to see this in here in action. So there it is. It is a 3-story high trap field. I took away my you know what? I probably should have kept them. I took away the spike traps and just did floor launchers, because again, the whole point of this is getting them to go up. The second they go up is when it triggers everything up here, and that's when everything just goes crazy in there, and pretty much everything that is stuck in there will get taken out. Okay, I gotta make it go away. There we go. But now that I see it in action like this, I think that possibly doing a... Oh, okay, that's awesome. Possibly doing a one spike, one... Where are you? Possibly doing 1 spike, 1 floor launcher is possibly still the best, because we do slow them way down. What I would like to do here actually is maybe do this. Can I do this? So doing this should cause a couple of things. It'll cause... Okay, there we go. Yeah. So doing this will cause the there we go. That's awesome. Okay. So this is going to cause the ones that are coming from over there to bounce back, which, as I said before too, this is like the key thing in this. You really want as much bounce back as possible so that you get the maximum amount of damage. Do I have another? Yes, I do. There we go.
30 seconds left to go.
Thought I saw a lobber in here. No? Okay. So here we did see some destruction, it looks like. Ooh, and someone got in. Wow, okay. There we go. Yeah, I actually think that I really would like to see more...
Bonus challenge success.
Alright,
Good
awesome.
job, team.
So there we go. On the all in all, I think that did pretty good.
I think we'll need a little more blue glow.